So my motivation to fight is to have a good life. Like I said, I was never brought up into a rich family. Don't get me wrong, we wasn't poor, but I had a dream, and I knew boxing's something I'm good at. And if I work hard, I can break that cycle and give a better life for my family, my future family. And it just fills me with pride that I've worked hard enough to get to a position now where I'm reaping those rewards, and I can produce a better life for my family. I'm very good at trying to not take things personal, because sometimes if you take things too personal, you're fighting with emotions, and fighting with emotions isn't always the best idea. But I mean, it's just knowing, prepare right, and go into the ring with the best mentality possible. I'm gonna come out with victorious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What is your first memory walking into a boxing gym? I don't know if you have like a very first impression.
I think every fighter will always remember the first day they walk into a boxing gym. I always remember walking in. I remember the gym, you had to go down into like a basement sort of thing. And it wasn't the cleanest of gyms. The smell, the sweat, what a lot of boxers do say, but I always remember that day. The sound of the punches. And there's a weird atmosphere in the gym.
How old were you?
I was 6 years old, so I was young. My grandfather actually took me to the first day. So yeah, I remember that day like it was yesterday, and I never left.
Yeah,
never left.
Are you the only boxer in your family, or?
Yeah, so I'm very close. So like my dad raised me, my two sisters, but my nan and my granddad, they're basically my second mum and dad. So my granddad always wanted to fight. He didn't have the opportunities to box. He wanted my dad to box. He played football. So third time he got his grandson. So yeah, none of my family boxed, but we've always been big boxing fans.
Yeah, today it's become a lot more a family matter. Could that be a problem, having a father in the corner? Of
course, and I've always said having a father-son relationship in boxing, if it doesn't work, you can't make it work. So obviously my dad raising me, being my coach as well, don't get me wrong, it has its tough moments. And me and my dad argue more than my dad does with any of his other fighters. But I know my dad knows me better than anybody else. My dad's probably the only guy who knows how to beat me. Yeah, but like, it's worked for us. We've got a close bond, and it works. I wouldn't be sat here right now if it didn't work. And I know my dad's got the best interests more than anybody else ever will. And it's worked. It's been hard, it's been difficult, but it's worked, and it's the reason I'm sat here today.
The gym, I think in all cases, I haven't heard anybody that has not said that the gym becomes like your second home.
Yeah, it does.
Your coach,
yeah,
like your second father.
Yeah.
Partners in the gym, they're your brothers. Do you feel this family ambience in the gym?
I mean, I had no choice because my dad dragged me to the gym from one house to the other house. But no, it's correct. Boxing, once you're in a boxing gym, that is your second home. My teammates in the gym, they're my brothers. That we spend every day with each other. We're preparing for battle. It's like living with brothers. I never had brothers, but being in a gym, they was the brothers to me. And it's a weird atmosphere, but it's something what you cherish.
How much do you share of your knowledge with everybody in the gym?
I try and share my knowledge as much as possible. But like you said, that's the beauty of boxing. You're best friends. You're going to sparring. You're knocking 7 bells out of each other. But then after, you got your arms around each other, and it's like nothing happened. And that's the beauty of boxing. It learns you respect, discipline, loyalty. And I just don't feel like there's any other sport like it.
Yeah. Sharing your knowledge, does it exposes your secrets? I mean, so to speak, because I've always heard boxers, you know, they don't want to say before the fight what they're preparing for their opponents. If there's such secrets, I don't know if do you think twice before sharing something?
I mean, I would never say a game plan or tactics or what I'm going to do into a fight. But as far as sharing knowledge with the guys in the gym, I try and help them all. You know, they're learning. They want as much experience as possible, and people have done that for me through my career. So I feel it's my duty to pass it to them and, you know, help them through their careers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it also, as much as it is a second home, boxing is also like a religion.
Yeah.
And the gym, it's like the temple.
Boxing it's a way of life. And like you say, it is a religion, because if you sat and asked me who is Dalton Smith, I'd be like, well, I'm a boxer. But if you go take boxing away, I don't know who I am. Like, I am boxing. Boxing's all I've known, and like you say, it becomes your identity. And the gym is a temple, as you say.
Yeah. And how was your amateur career?
I had a great amateur career. You know, I came up short just for boxing in the Olympics. But with AIBA, they changed the weights. I had a couple of hand injuries. So I turned professional just before the pandemic. But I had a great amateur career. Traveled the world, won many medals for my nation, and yeah, I had a pretty good amateur career.
Yeah. Is it tough making the transition from amateur to professional? Because a lot of boxers, a lot of people say it's two different sports.
Yep. It wasn't so much difficult for me because I always had a professional style. As much as I had a great amateur career, I always knew I was going to be a better professional because I had that sort of style. A slower pace, slower feet. So I always knew I was going to be a better professional than an amateur. But like you say, some can't find to adapt. But I think a reason of adapting is learning your craft, learning all the time. Mm-hmm. Even now, like, I'm learning every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always knew I'd make a better professional than I would amateur.
How did you feel the first punch in professional? If there's such a...
I mean, I think you just get used to it. I didn't expect... I think you always expect the worst. So when it happens, you think, wait, that weren't as bad as I thought. But professional boxing is different. You can be an amateur for 4 rounds. But as soon as it gets to round 6, 7, 8, 9, you need more than just skill.
Yeah. Well, when you see your rival, how many times do you look at him, you more or less read what's in his head, and you say, I got him?
I think the best stage you can see where if you've got somebody or not is the face-off after the weigh-in. I always believe the face-off before the weigh-in is completely different. But as soon as you've done your weight and you do the face-off, that's when you can feel somebody's energy. That's when sometimes you can feel, yeah, he's up for this, or no, I've got him. But I think before it's hard to judge. But I always think the face-off after the weigh-in, you can get a better judge sense of character.
Yeah. How much is also the fight outside of the ring? I mean, the psychological, is there like a psychological strategy? Do you pay much attention to that?
I think boxing really is 80% mental. I really do believe it's 80% mental. It's how you control your brain, how you control your emotions, how you control when somebody says you're going to get knocked out. All the negative comments, I think it's how you handle it. And for me, it's self-belief. If you believe in yourself, you know what you're confident, you know yourself, you'll be fine. But boxing is 80% mental for me.
Yeah. So you have to be intelligent to be a boxer.
Very intelligent. But don't ask my school grades, because you'll think he ain't intelligent. But no, you you have to know yourself up here, 100%. Yeah.
Because fans just see punches and, you know,
Yeah.
just going at it, and nobody ever, I don't know how many people even consider that you gotta be intelligent to be in there.
You've got to control your emotions. As soon as you lose that, as soon as you lose your emotions, you're going to be seeing stars.
Yeah.
You're going to be seeing stars. But like I say, for me, boxing's massively a mental side. You've got to control your emotions and know how to execute something.
Yeah, so it is true that if you get angry, you lose.
Of course.
That's.
But people think, oh, you're a boxer, you're a fighter, you've got to be angry. It don't work like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
After the weigh-in, when you have 24 hours, more or less, to get in the ring, when does the fight mode kicks in for you?
For mine, fight mode starts once I've stepped on the scales. As soon as I've made the weight, I'm like, right, it's fight time. And then you switch on. So yeah, for me, once I've done the weigh-in, the fight starts there for me.
Yeah. What happens in the dressing room before? While they're hand wrapping and you're warming up for the fight? What goes through your head minutes before stepping in the ring?
Millions of things. Millions of things. You sat there, your heart's going dove, 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 dove. But again, control your emotions. Everybody gets negative. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? But you've just got to switch it off. As long as you've prepared the best to your ability, then you've got no doubt, because you've given it 100%. And you go in the ring, execute it to the best you can, and the fight will play out as it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stepping in the ring means that you're in danger. In danger of what, in your perspective?
In danger of losing. Like when people say they're nervous before they get into a ring, they're not nervous because they're scared of the other guy. They're scared of failure, for me. Like nobody wants to go in there and get knocked out. You know, they don't want to be embarrassed. That's the worst thing for a fighter. You know, we're nervous because we want to win. We want to win, we don't want to get embarrassed. And for me, that's what nerves are.
Yeah. Is there anything you fear?
No.
No?
I believe everything happens for a reason. As long as I give 100%, you know, God always knows what. So the fight's already written before it happens. 100%.
Yeah. Now, the boxing glove, is it a weapon or is it a shield to protect?
It's both. I feel like it's both. They're there to defend, but they're also there to, you know, protect yourself as well. Punch him more times than he hits you, of course. You've got to protect the hands there, what earn the money at the end of the day. But yeah, people think, oh, the gloves are padded, surely it can't hurt, but until you've put a 8-ounce cleat or raise on and you feel them, it's like concrete. Yeah.
Have you ever got injured during the fight? You know, like there's a lot of guys that break their...
As a professional, not, but like I've had many surgeries on my hands. You know, I've got scars, I've got hip bone placed into my hand and stuff. So, yeah, that's part of the game. Part of the game.
Yeah. I hear everybody says, no, you cannot show your opponent that you're hurt.
No.
What happens if, you know, if you know your opponent is hurt? Or what happens if the other guy knows you're hurt? What happens during the fight?
Of course, you can't show that you're hurt. You can't show your weakness because your opponent's going to gain confidence. You know, if a lion sees a gazelle injured or whatever, he's going to be confident. He's like, that's my target. So I think in boxing you need a good poker face. Definitely, you need a good poker face, and you know, if you feel something, just block it out. Just try and grim the pain.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy because in my head I'm thinking, wow, this hurts.
You train a lot.
Yeah.
You spend countless hours running in the gym to learn to fight. But once inside the ring, does boxing teach you anything about how to live your life outside of the ring?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making sense with my question.
Yeah, you do. So I believe every fighter, I always believe every fighter has a fight where they get brought back down to earth a little bit. Because when you're winning, you think, oh, this is easy. Then some point in your career, you'll be in a fight where you think, I need to do more. I'm honest, I've been there myself. So you've got to get every little thing. If you want to reach the top, I believe you've got to get everything right. You know, the fight's won outside of the ring, as they say. Good sleep, good recovery, eat good, no partying, no tequila. So yeah, you've got to live a clean life. You've got to live a clean life.
And boxing is definitely humbling, isn't it?
Yeah, massive. Everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face. That's the one. And it's so true. Like, whatever you're winning, it's all good. But you know, when you lose, you know, you get humbled pretty quick.
How do you feel fighting a friend?
I mean, as a professional, I've fought people who I'm pretty close with. You just gotta learn. You just gotta learn it's business. He's trying to better his life. I'm trying to better mine. We get in a ring, we have a fight. May the best man win. You know, you put your arm, shake each other's hand after. It's very rare I disrespect an opponent. Like, if you respect me, I'm gonna respect you, and we have a fight and we're friends after. But it is a little bit more difficult if you know the guy. But again, it's boxing. That's the beauty of the sport. You can have a fight, and you probably have more respect for each other after than you did before the fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're not gonna hit him as hard as you always do.
Exactly, and
because he's gonna do the same.
He's gonna do the same. He's only trying to do to me what I'm trying to do to him. But yeah, it's a little bit more difficult. But like I say, you've just got to learn to handle yourself, and yeah, just like I say, just know it's boxing. It's not personal, it's business.
Yeah, yeah. And how did you feel about winning the silver belt that is behind you, the green belt?
Yeah. So to me, it's the most beautiful belt.
That's the next one.
That's the next one. That's the next one. For me, growing up, like, if you could ask me if you could win one world title, what would it be? I'd always said it's WBC, and I think if you asked any other fighter, they'd say the same. So even though it wasn't a world title, it was a silver title. That felt like a world title for me. Like at my house, where my TV is, I've got like little pigeonholes like this, and I've got all my belts in them. And by far, I look at that and I just think, that's not a world title, but to have the silver, it's special.
Yeah.
Special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and right now in this office, that's where my father, José Sulaimán, worked and received everybody from Muhammad Ali to amateurs, to prospects. And, you know, I always like to feel this energy, because this is the place where all the good things in boxing happened, with the rules, you know, making the rules and all that. I don't know if this makes you feel.
Listen, I walked in here, and there's an aura about this place. Then I walked up the stairs and I seen the picture of Roberto Duran and Leonard. It's both signed, and I'm looking around. I'm just thinking, wow, that's crazy. Like you've grew up in this house. Like, this is normal to you. Mm-hmm. But for me, it was grew up, and like, Muhammad Ali to me is a god. Like, he's the best, and like to know he's been in here with your father and the history around it. There's no words for it. There is no words for it. You just have to come in here and just feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
crazy. It's a very big family, and you feel it. And like I said, I'm new coming into this, and how I've been treated, and like you see, even being invited here, and to have the privilege to sit in your dad and now Mauricio's office, they're memories I'll cherish for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. And then when I grab one of those and I have one of those around my waist, I'll be part of that history. And there's no words for it. From a young kid that's all they've dreamt of. Man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And no, big thank you.
And now, what's in the very near future? What's coming up?
So, I've got the opportunity of a lifetime to fight for the green and gold. You know, everything goes to plan in November for the WBC World Title against Subriel Matthias, and I'm one fight away from achieving something I've worked hard for from 6 years old. And like I say, it's hard to find words for it. It don't feel like it's real. And I think once it does happen, and I sit back and I'm like, wow, what have I just achieved?
Maurice just said that he met you in Charlie Edwards' dressing room.
Yes, that was
with his mother. The day they gave her the belt.
Yes.
And you were a young kid there.
Yeah,
young
so that was
boxer.
like 7-8 years ago. So I wasn't even professional then. I was still an amateur. Yeah. So Charlie was my father's first world champion. You know, so I tell my dad's had another coach's strap. So my dad's got his first strap before me, so he's beat me to that one. But yeah, it was special. I met Mauricio there. I seen what he did with Charlie, his mum. And like I said, that wasn't for the cameras. That was in the change rooms while nobody was there. And I always said, for me, even from young, the WBC is the best. I got to meet Mauricio, seen what he did there. And then as a professional, I said to my dad, my manager, I was just like, I want a world title. I want the green and gold. That's where we're going. Don't matter who's there, who's the champion. That's the way I want to go. And look where I am. It's crazy. It's crazy how life works sometimes. It is crazy.
Yeah. You still got a way to go.
A long way to go.
Yeah, a long way to go. But until now, until today, what has boxing given you?
Boxing's given me opportunities. It's given me a better life, to meet some great people. And I've got some of my greatest friends from boxing. And not many young kids from Sheffield can say where they've been around the world, the people they've met. And like you say, I'm sat in a room here where Muhammad Ali came to, you know, like you say, he came to have dinner with your dad, and yeah, it's special. Yeah, if you could ask someone from Sheffield, a young kid from where I'm from, to be where I'm at, it's a crazy story.
Yeah. As much as boxing gives, it has to take something. Does boxing take away anything from you?
So when I was younger, growing up, I used to think, why am I different to everybody else? Why can't I be with my friends and go out and party and do this and do that? But I'm 28 now, and I'm at an age where what boxing did take away is far less back then to what I've got now. Because what boxing has given me later on in life is a lot more than it took away when I was younger. So I have to thank boxing for everything. And a bit more, and even thank my dad for pushing me. Because it can't have been hard for my dad having to be a father, as a coach. Because like me and my dad, it's hard to have a father-son relationship while ever we're a father and coach. You've kind of got to separate it a little bit. So it must have been, couldn't imagine how hard it is for him to put that aside. But I know when that title's around my waist, all it'd be worth it.
Yeah. You know, Oscar De La Hoya described the knockout punch. It comes all the way up your arm to the heart.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way he described the knockout punch.
Yeah.
How do you describe what happens in that moment? Do you feel the punch? You don't feel it? What happens with the knockout punch?
So what I've learned in boxing is, if you try to knock somebody out, it'll never happen. Every time I've knocked somebody out is when I'm not meant to, like, boom, whoa. Didn't mean to do that one. And that for me is a knockout punch. When you're not trying, when you're just going with the flow, boom, that's when it comes.
Yeah, yeah. Like baseball players, when they hit the home run, they don't feel. I mean, the bat
boom.
doesn't.
Yeah,
Just.
that's it. Just let it flow. Just let it flow. Don't try. Like if I'm like, you just boom, don't feel it.
From your experience in your path from when you started to now, what would you say to the kids starting?
Make sure you have good people around you, because it's so easy. I was lucky enough to have my dad, my granddad, good friends to keep me on the straight and narrow. Plenty of times it could have gone off track, but my advice to any young kid is, if you've got a dream, anybody can. I'm a normal kid from Sheffield, and I'm able to get where I've got. So, if you've got a dream, just give it 100%. Don't take it too serious. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey. But just make sure you believe in yourself and give 100%.
Yeah. And what is your superpower? Do you have a superpower? Could be a punch, could be a thought, could be a, I don't know.
I've just got self-belief. I believe in myself, and I don't think it's a superpower. It's something you build over years. If you've got self-belief, you'll go far in life. And that's not even in boxing. That's in, I don't know, you want to be an artist. You want to be a pianist, a musician, a singer. If you've got self-belief and you work hard, you'll go far in life.
Yeah.
Just have fun. Just have fun. Enjoy life. That's what you got to do.